Okay, should I do this? This is like a real thing. Okay, I have two options. I have like, I can explain myself and tell my dumbass story, A, or B, there were two like topics that I want to talk about. One of them was explains a lot about why I'm so like fricked up because it's basically like the big awful thing that happened to me that is all encompassing and includes almost every aspect of life, but whatever. Yeah. Secondly, I want to talk about, yes, I want to talk about sexuality. I've been wanting to make this video for like a million years, ages anyways. So I feel like I'm probably gonna do that. So that's that. Okay, sexuality and polyamory that I consider myself a part of. It can get messy, but I'm making a video. You can come in. So now it's gonna be awkward because I'm like talking about things.
Unreal.
I know. I appreciate it. We appreciate you. Oh, I don't know if I can do this with Jody here. This is my roommate Jody.
To who?
Just come in the camera. I'll put it on YouTube. He's gonna kill me. Okay. Oh my god. Who knows anything, really? You feel me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Basically, I just wanted to make a little video talking about my views and opinions on sexuality and relationships. Love and sex. No. But real talk. First off, I don't consider myself gay. Like, I'm not fully gay. I am mostly into girls over men. However, my point is that just sexuality in general, it's more like a spectrum than any kind of like box or like label system. I like the labels in terms of whatever makes you feel better and whatever is like more empowering to you, whatever like label you latch onto the most that like feels most like yourself. Like, I like it in terms of identity, in terms of like a part of your identity and being able to like choose your identity and stuff like that. Like, that's very empowering. I really like that. But on more of a real scale, like in reality and the world and like, you know, real life and everything, it's way more of like a spectrum, so many different like hues and variations, and you know, it's like everything is fluid type of thing, especially sexuality. Like, holy. So personally, I identify with queer, with the term queer. If you want to go really like technical, like by definition, I would probably be considered like pansexual, but I hate that term. I just don't like it because it sounds too like sciencey, and when it comes to like what I personally identify with, like I just like the term queer because it's more ambiguous. So I can't have anyone like, I don't know, I don't like it when people are like, aren't you like gay, or like, aren't you bisexual? And I'm like, no. I am what I want to be. Like, you get to choose. So yeah, I like the term queer. It's much more of an umbrella term. It's very cute. It's not like, it doesn't sound like scientific, because I don't want to think of my sexuality as something like scientific or academic that you can like study or put in a book, because it's very real and natural, and it's just is what it is. So yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, so okay, my like story, I guess, whatever. Like obviously I wasn't like born gay. Like, yes, I was born this way, but so sad. But I wasn't born gay. And honestly, oh god, okay, honestly, no one is like born gay. I don't know, I've seen a lot of documentaries of like these like really little kids that like they're like transgender kids, and they just know they're in the wrong body from like day one, and I'm like, that is so cool. And there's new stuff like in like Finland or Norway or something, they have this thing now where, yeah, in terms of gender identity, first of all, gender and sexuality, two different things, two completely different conversations. So I'm talking purely about sexuality. However, yeah, they have this thing in, I think it's Finland, I want to say, where they don't place a gender at birth, or they have like, there's like 3 options, and they can be ambiguous and let they let the kid choose and come into their own, which I think is perfect and beautiful. Yeah, it just gives them a choice, which for some people is very like threatening, because I've had this discussion with can be threatening to people just because of like what they know, how they grew up, and like their understanding of the world, which that I understand. But I also think it's very important to just to progress, to be progressive, and to be accepting of the new and all of that stuff. So basically my point was that sexuality is fluid. It's different for everyone. I'm a fan of sexuality. So my story, I wasn't like born gay. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like anyone is born gay. If they are, like, props to you. But like, for me, that's just not how it was. Yeah, but honestly, like, the reality of that is that it's based on like what we're fed in mainstream media. So because of like the time that I grew up in, a lot of like your big sweeping romances, most like couples you see on TV, any romance movies, novels, all this stuff is very heteronormative, like in the mainstream media, especially around the time that I grew up, but more so around like previous generation. So like if you're older than I am, which I'm 24 by the way, then yeah, it's a lot harder. And it's also like harder to sort of change your brain to that norm unless you're super progressive, which is why I always really respect anyone who is like much older than I am, but also very progressive. It's very rare. So it gets me like, it makes me really excited. Because I feel like it's just more common among like my generation. Like it's really easy for me to find people, especially in the internet age, because there's so much information and we're so addicted to knowledge. And I feel like, or I like to think, that like my generation and the generations coming are much more aware of like all this stuff, just because we have so much, because our resources are so vast. Like it's crazy. So most people are well informed depending on your level of intelligence, but I'd like to think that most people are pretty aware. But so I guess I first discovered or realized or got like a hint that I was maybe not like completely straight. Like, so yeah, I grew up like normally. I had like crushes on boys. Yeah, I had like my first boyfriend in like grade 5, so I was like 10. Like, yeah, I guess my first hint, like my sister was a really big fan of David Archuleta and all of these like guys, male singers. And then there's me. And I was like, I guess it started with being very like supportive of the LGBTQIA plus community and supporting their rights and like being a big supporter. But there's a huge difference between like, oh my god, there's like the biggest difference between being a supporter and being like very for them and being, yes, I agree, and like, yes, to normalize and like all this stuff, and like being part of that, and then like actually being the minority. Like it's so crazy, that flip, because when you're supporting it and you're not a part of that minority, you have so much strength, and then you flip and you realize like, oh my god, I'm the weird one or the strange one, or like I'm, yeah, the minority and the not norm, which is like so crazy. That was like first experiencing it and being being a minority, because I'm not, like, I'm white female, you know, cisgender female. So it's very like, yeah, it was very drastic for me. I don't know, it's just a big life identifier, like a big part of who I am, I guess. I don't know. Very strange. But it's a very formative experience for me. Yeah, I guess I was a huge fan of Lady Gaga, and that's like what I grew up with. And I think it was just, I remember like I was over at my best friend's in high school, just like a regular thing, and I remember like half admitting to her, half admitting to myself just while she was there. And I was genuinely scared. I was like, oh no, because I didn't see myself that way. I didn't see myself like a gay, like, oh, like I'm a lesbian. Like I never saw myself that way, because I seem very normal, I come across very normal. Yeah, it was sort of that like, I don't fit the stereotype of like what gay is. So it just really got me, and I was like, no, I don't want to. I was scared. I was like, I remember being like, Rachel, what if I'm gay? I was genuinely scared because I had so much love and respect and admiration for Lady Gaga, which is like, because I mean, she is what she is. Just all the art and like everything that she did, I just ate it up, clearly. And then it wasn't until one of my best friends was gay. I really liked her perspective because she was sort of like me. You would never think by looking at you that, you know, that she was gay. But like, that's such a weird thing. Yeah, like I used to get hit on at university, and before I was even out, I would just tell the guy that I was gay to get him to go away, and it literally didn't work because he was so shocked and he like would not leave, and I was like, oh my god. So basically then my best friend when I was 18, 19, she was gay, and her perspective on it was so different and so just enlightening. Like she just, I don't know, she just it really like opened my eyes to being gay and sort of like owning it and being very like proud of your sexuality. It was just like a new experience for me, and it was really nice to see her like that and so like positive about it. And yeah, just really like, you know, inspired me to be like that. Now it's like such a thing where I like being queer. I'm very proud to be queer. Yeah, I have no shame here. I'm back. Okay, so I've changed setup and now my top because I felt lazy before, put no effort. Because I was focused on the topic, and so I didn't feel like my appearance really mattered. Regardless, I just felt lazy. But the other like big thing that I want to talk about was polyamory. So basically, I never heard of this before. First time I heard of it was from my best friend when I was 19. I just remember her like talking about it. She used to hang out with the art kids, so a lot of them were like very like sexually open and like promiscuous, and her girlfriend was into polyamory, so she showed me an article about it, and I remember reading it and going and being like, oh my god, this is like, just my understanding of it was so like perfect. It just felt like the answer and the solution to like all the things that I felt like were wrong with love and relationships. I don't know, I really took to it. It makes sense for me, but it only works if you're good about it and if everyone is on the same page, and if like, yeah, it's like really different for everyone, because I think everyone is different in terms of like how you execute it. It really worked the first time because I started dating a guy and then I had my first girlfriend, and that was like a very interesting experience. But like the positive thing about it and what I really liked was the fact that I could talk to him about her. I had stronger feelings for her. It's just like, it's just the idea that you love someone enough or so much that you want them to be able to experience all different kinds of love, and you're open to that, and it makes it like allows them to grow and change, and like the same with you. Yeah, they see you the same way, so it's like just nice. Like I remember like going on dates with him and being able to talk about her and like how it was going with her and stuff like that, and he would like get so excited and he was like, I love hearing you talk about her because your face lights up. And it was just like stuff like that just got me. And like, I mean, obviously my parents are divorced, so just the whole idea of it really appealed to me. So I just really like, I was a fan, and I still consider myself polyamorous. It's just very modern and progressive, and it's just more free to be open. I think as long as you're like honest with people and you like tell them, but it's like the feeling of like wanting to tell your significant other about like what's happening with the other person that you're seeing. It just takes away. I don't think it's natural for humans to be like stuck to one person for their entire life. No one does that, and people get divorced all the time. So instead of breaking up families and marriages and stuff, it just feels like the solution to everything. I don't know, it's just my like hippy dippy shit of like, how is it wrong to love? You know what I mean? Always wrong to hate. It's never wrong to love someone, and that's my thing. That's just my perspective. That's how I like to see it. Not everyone is that way. That's where I run into problems, but it's okay. It just allows you to have freedom and to continue to be able to explore and like just experience different kinds of love. Because like, how egotistic is it to think that like you are the only source of intimate, deeper, or like sexual love that someone needs? Like, that's just my views, my perspective, because human beings are so like complex and multi-dimensional that there's no way that just one person can be enough for someone to satisfy them. There's just no way. Like, I feel like you need more than that, and I tend to need more than that too. But it's also fun because different parts of yourself come out with different people, and it's fun. It's just good fun. But yeah, I think like as long as you're honest and everyone is in agreement and it's cool and it's good, then it works and it's great. It's amazing. It's only when people get like possessive or like they're just, it's really not for them, and I'm just like, okay, but it's not for you. So yeah, that's my thing. And then, you know, yeah, when you need a break, you need a break. And that's that. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked my little PSA / informational, hopefully enlightening, insightful video on sort of like my views, sexuality, and relationships. Yeah. Bye.
Don't let this be our final song.